and welcome back to you if you're watching. Oh, goodness, I have my January haul. It's quite a lot. I definitely won't continue to have this many books. This is not normal for me. But a lot of these were from the order that I was waiting for that I had made back in December. And I think it was just taking a while. I don't know if it was because of the holidays or if it's because I also had a pre-order on there. And because as soon as that pre-order, like as soon as the release date hit for it, everything shipped. So I think they might have just been waiting for that book to come out so they could just ship everything at once, which was fine if I would have known instead of waiting a month. It's all right. I got them with one of my big checks that I normally don't get. So instead of saving all of it, I splurged a little, which I can do every now and then. So without further ado, I do have one book that I did not myself buy. So I'm going to start with that one. I got J.K. Rowling's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay. This was actually given to me from one of my best friends. She ended up buying a copy for herself, and then she got one for Christmas. So she immediately thought of me when she was wanting to give her duplicate copy to someone. So I was very happy and lucky because this was a book I wanted to get and I just hadn't gotten it yet. So maybe that was a sign as to why I didn't want to buy it right away. Who knows? But yes, I'm excited. I haven't read it yet because I did see the movie. So I mean, it's not going to be a complete surprise, but I still want to read this. And it is higher on the priority list of to reads, especially since it's not going to take long. It's a very short book, and it's a screenplay instead of a regular novel, so it won't take long to read it all. So that is up there on the list. The next book I have is my current read, which is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and I just cannot get over how beautiful this book is. I mean, that's the book without the jacket. It's gorgeous. I love it. So I'm not very far into it yet because since I already read 3 books for this month, I kind of slowed down a little bit on the reading to kind of focus on other things like video games, because I also do that. So, yeah, but I think I figured out a way to balance both of my loves. So I'm going to go with that and see how it goes, as well as balancing the housework and trying to get into a healthier me. So, but yes, I'm excited to get this really going because so far it's interesting. I think I'm about 50 pages in and I'm liking it so far. So yes. These next 2 books were the books that came in the owl crates that I got. So you already seen them, but I got them in January, so I'm going to haul them anyway. I got Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. I don't know if that's how you say her last name. I'm sorry if it's not. I am horrible with names. But yes, I got this. This was in the December owl crate. I'm excited to get to this because this will be my first actual diversity read. So yes, I'm excited to get to this. So it is up there high on the list. I have a lot of books that are high on the list. So I'm just gonna have to work on getting through everything. So the next one was the January owl crate, which is Roseblood by A.G. Howard, and this is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. I cannot wait to get into this because I love Phantom of the Opera. Oh my gosh. Like, that is like one of my favorites ever is Phantom of the Opera. Ugh. But yes, I cannot, I cannot wait to get into this. I would so love to see a different take on Phantom of the Opera. It will be very interesting. And I love this cover. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And the print, instead of black, I don't know if you can tell with my computer, but it is red. Like red. It's red print. So that's different. And I love it. So cannot wait to get into that. Next up, I have And I Darken by Kiersten White. This is a book that I've heard a lot of great things about. And I'm really excited to read it just because I have a soft spot for kick-ass women main characters. I don't know if that's just the feminist in me, but yeah. So I cannot wait to get into this. It sounds extremely interesting. And yeah, I cannot wait. Next up, I got Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. The second book, Wind Witch, just came out this month. I do plan to pick that one up, as well as a couple of other books. So maybe next month. But yes, I love stories about witches and just magic, period. So I am very much looking forward to getting into this. I've heard a lot of great things about this book as well. And when it first came out last year, it really captured my interest and I wanted it. But because of the slump I was in, I really didn't buy books because I wasn't reading them. So, even though I bought a few books, I didn't buy a crap ton because I wasn't reading them. But yes, I finally have this, and then I do plan on getting Wind Witch soon. So then I can marathon the 2 books. So yes, I'm excited. The next one I got, this was the pre-order that I think held up my order, and that was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. It just came out like last week, something like that. 2 weeks ago, I don't know, 17th. But yes, this is Veronica Roth's newest book. I read her Divergent series. I loved it. Not a huge fan of the movies. We won't get into that. But yeah. But yes, I have Carved the Mark, and even though I've seen some controversial things on Twitter, I'm still going to read it because I love Veronica Roth, and I'm just going to come up with my own opinion on it and see if they were right or if maybe it's just a matter of opinion. I don't know. You won't know until you read it for yourself. So that's my opinion on that. So yes, Carve the Mark. Because of the controversy, it's not high on the priority list. I will say that. But I still really want to read this simply because I am a firm believer of coming up with your own opinions on things. So next up, I can't remember if I hauled this last time or not because I can't remember exactly when I bought it, but I threw it in here just to be on the safe side. I got the second Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard book. It's The Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan. It's going to be a trilogy. I plan to read it. I don't need to have read any of the other series to read it, so I can start with these, and that is my plan. So, I do have the Percy Jackson series to read too, so I could still enjoy all of that. I think the only series I don't have of his is the Heroes of Olympus series, which I do plan on changing that soon. So, because I love the Percy Jackson movie, and the book is always better than the movie. So, but yes, I went ahead and I got the second book so I can marathon both of them. And then, I won't have much longer to wait for the third one because the third one should be out this year. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. And then I also went with my promise of what I said last time, and I bought the Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. It's book 1, The Hidden Oracle. Now, this one, after getting it, I found out that I probably should wait until after I read the Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to rectify not having the Heroes of Olympus series soon, because that way I can just marathon everything Rick Riordan and get completely caught up. So, but yes, I mean, I'm into all of this, and these technically are middle grade books, so they're not going to be, hard reads, and they will be quick reads because they're not huge books. So, yes, I'm excited to get into this and have a little bit of a no-brainer, easy reads to go off of for those times where I'm just too tired. So, yes, I'm excited to get into some Rick Riordan. These next two, I'm just going to do both of them together because they're from the same series. It's the Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. I have trouble saying that name. It's also known as J.K. Rowling. So that is why I got these books, is because it's J.K. Rowling. I love J.K. Rowling. I also have The Silkworm, which is the second book. I already had the third book before these two because my local library was basically giving it away. It was basically you could have it with a free will donation, and so I think I paid like $2 for the third book, and that was before I realized it was the third book. I recognized the name, I recognized the author name, and knew it was a J.K. Rowling book, so that's why I grabbed it. So yes, now I have the first two, and now I can marathon the entire trilogy. So I'm excited for this. This is also these are adults, and they're like mystery. So it's something I don't usually read, but I am wanting to expand what I read. So I mean, this is perfect. It's adult, it's a mystery, and I still get to keep my love of J.K. Rowling. So it couldn't say no to that. So I have those. Next is Morning Star, which came in. This is the third book in the Red Rising trilogy. So this is the conclusion. So now that I have all 3 books, I can marathon these. These are also adult. So I'm expanding. And I cannot wait to get into these. These are like a sci-fi series, so I can't wait to get into this because my first introduction into sci-fi was a total success. So I need to continue that on a little bit because these are the only sci-fi books I now own, is these right here. So you can tell I wasn't really into it before. So yeah, there's those. And then I've always wanted to, Barnes & Noble has these, the classics where they did them all pretty, and you can collect them, and they just look gorgeous. I want to start collecting them. I've always wanted to for a long time, and I've just held back because they're classics, and as much as, I appreciate the classics, they're not something I really read a lot of. However, I am wanting to change that. Plus, I want to collect the pretty books. So I'm buying the ones that I do want to read, and I'm going to have a pretty shelf eventually. It'll be a long time, but eventually it will get there. But the first to add to the collection is all 7 of Jane Austen's books. I have been wanting to read all of Jane Austen's books for a long time, and I have all 7 of them in a collection for the ebooks that only cost like 99 cents, and I bought that like a long time ago. But I like physical copies of books more than anything, and I like hardcover, even though Barnes & Noble's coming out with these paperbacks that are also very pretty. I prefer hardcover. And is this not gorgeous? I mean, like, but yeah, it's gonna take a while to read because there's like thousands of pages in here. There's over, yeah. And the print is very tiny, and that didn't sound good. So, but yes, I love this. I plan to read Pride and Prejudice first, so I can't wait to get into that. I have been wanting to read Jane Austen's books for a long time, and I think the only thing that was stopping me was I didn't have physical copies of it, and I do prefer to read physical copies. Even though I do love the e-reader and e-books and everything, they definitely have their pluses, but I prefer physical copies. I'm weird like that. Although I won't be able to take this anywhere because it is heavy. It is massive. So it's gonna be hard to get these books finished when you're not gonna be able to take it everywhere with you easily. So I don't know if maybe I'll hop back and forth between physical copy and ebook. So I don't know. We'll see. This last one isn't exactly a novel, but it's something that I had found, and I wanted to get it because I've been wanting to learn how to draw, but there's no real easy way for me to teach myself. So I found this, and I thought it would be a nice thing to try and see how I like it. And that is Sketching Made Easy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who created this, but because it's got stuff on the inside, like there's an introduction, but it just says Piccadilly, USA. Printed this edition published by Piccadilly USA Inc. I don't know, but it's just simple little things like taking this, learning how to draw teacups and flowers, and it just starts you off. It literally has you do like a number dots. And you're just drawing like literal squiggly lines and just random shapes just to get started. So I think this will work to help me learn how to draw. I guess we'll see once I start. But that is my January haul. That is all I have for you. It's quite a lot. I will not normally have this much, especially since the holidays are now over. I'm not going to have the money to buy a whole bunch of books. So, which is okay. Because I've got quite a bit to keep me busy for quite a while. So I will be okay. But that's all I have for you, and I will see you next time. Bye.